viewers, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at order of operations. If you've been following, we've had a few in the past, so we've done order of operations 1 to 7. Now we're looking at order of operations 8. Oh, by the way, I only numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on because I wanted to answer as many questions as possible to cover the whole range on bid mass, well, cover as many areas of bid mass as possible. So whatever question you come across, you can use any of my videos and hopefully it helps you. All right, let's get right into it. So we've got 10.8. So like I said in my previous videos, that dot is a times, so, or it's a multiplication. 10 times 8 is 80. So you end up with 87. Now, if you were required to put it into mixed fractions, you just do 80 divided by 7. We have 11. And then we've got, you're left with 3. So 11 wholes and 3 sevenths. Now again, we'll rewrite that. We've got 5, add. Now separately, we've got 10 times 1 over 4. Now note how this 5 is standing on its own as a whole, and this side is a fraction. So we'll solve that bit first. So 5 plus 10 times 1 is 10 over 4, which can be written as 5 plus, we can simplify that and we will have 5 halves. Now we can make this 5 a whole number. Sorry, we can make the 5 a fraction to make it easy. So you end up with, because this 5 is the same as 5 over 1, right? So to make the denominators the same, it becomes a 10 halves. So 5 over 1 is equivalent to 10 halves. And then plus, we've got this 5 over 2 that's there. And then that gives us 10, add 5. So we've got 15 halves. Okay, you can leave it like that. Your answer is absolutely correct. However, if the question requires you to change to mixed fractions, 15 halves is the same thing as 7 wholes and a half. Okay, so here we've got -7. I'm just going to rewrite that. -7, -10. That dot means times, and here we've got a bracket. -3 add 7. So -3 add 7 will give positive 4. I'm going to put 4 there. And then multiplication first. -10 times 4 is -40. And then we'll bring down that -7. So -7 subtract 40. That means -47. Okay. 2b. So here we've got 2 subtract 6, add, and then in a bracket 8 minus 6. So we deal with the bracket first. 8 minus 6 is 2. Then we've got -6 and 2. Then -6 add 2 is -4, and we'll bring down that 2 there. Then 2 subtract 4 is -2. So here's a fraction. 1 minus 6 over -3. So times 0. Now the moment you see times 0, straight away we can just tell that our final answer is going to be 0. However, for the sake of those who would want to understand why that is, I'm going to do it in steps. So 1 minus 6 is 5 over negative 3, then times by 0. And that's it. Whatever you multiply by 0 is just 0. I'm so sorry, my camera is acting up. Okay. So 3b, we've got 3 add 1. Now we've got an index there, so all of that squared and then negative 2. Now we'll deal with the bracket first, as always. Remember, in big math, B is bracket first. So I'm going to put the bracket. 3 add 1 is 4. So we've got 4 squared over negative 2. Now the I is index, so we'll treat the index. 4 squared is the same thing as saying 4 times 4. And 4 times 4 is 16. So that's 16 over negative 2. Now this can be simplified even further. So 16 divided by 2 is 8, but do not forget we've got this negative sign there. So our final answer is negative 8. Negative 1 add a quarter. Now what I can do again is make this 1, because this one here, negative 1, is a whole number, but here we've got a fraction. So you can decide to make this also look like a fraction by just putting 1 underneath it. So every time you have a whole number, you can turn it into a fraction just by placing a 1 underneath. And when you do this, next thing is to make the denominators the same. So negative 1 over 1 is equivalent to negative 4 over 4, because remember, 4 divided by 4 gives you 1, right? So plus 1 over 4. Now that the denominators are the same, so we just take one of them. Now negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. So our final answer is negative 3 quarters. Right. So here we've got negative 8 plus a bracket of 2 at 3 with an index of 3. So 2 plus 3 cubed. So we'll start with the bracket first. 2 at 3 is 5. That means we have 5 cubed. And then we have a negative 8 on the left. And then again we deal with the index first. 5 times 5, we've got 25, and 25 times 5 is 125. So we've got negative 8 add 125. If we solve that, you should have 117. Next, 5a. We've got negative 8 subtract 10 multiplied by negative 6. So we do the multiplication first. Negative 10 multiplied by negative 6. So negative times negative is positive. 10 times 6, we've got 60. And then we bring down our negative 8. So negative 8 add 60 is positive 52. And finally, question 5b. So again, we'll deal with the index first here. We don't have a bracket in this one, but we've got index. So BIDMAS. That's your BIDMAS. So index next. So 3 times 3 is 9 over 7. So 9 7. Then we've got 2 subtract 9 7. Now remember when I said every time you've got a whole number dealing with a fraction, you can, if you want, just make that into a fraction and then make the denominators the same. So you want that denominator to look like that one. So we use 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 1 is 7. So 2 over 1 is equivalent to 14 7. So minus 9 7. So we just end up with 7 there, 14 subtract 9, we've got 5 7. And we have come to the end of our session today. Thanks for joining in. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.